Hey guys, if you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go. Alrighty dighty, I'm back, and it is still September 3rd, and it is 11:28 p.m. Eastern Time, and this video will probably run over into the 4th. So anyway, I know some of you probably thought, she's not coming back tonight. It's getting too late. No, I just took an extra long break, and I was snacking on these. They are the most delicious thing ever. They are sweet Maui onion rings, non-GMO, gluten-free, and baked. I love them. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, except I got my keyboards all greasy, but you know, I can live with it if you can. All right, let's go back to the news here, and we do have like a regular cornucopia or a virtual cornucopia of news. It is a smattering of all sorts of things, but good things. Things that we need to know. And something that we need to know right now is that Deborah W. just became a Patreon member. Well, actually, I think a couple days ago. But thank you, Deborah W. And I appreciate all my Patreon supporters and those that buy coffee or mail me things. I love it. And don't think you have to put a donation in to mail me something. You don't. Just, you know, it's nice to hear from people. And I don't know, there's something about seeing people's handwriting and so forth that just makes me feel like I know them even better. So, and include a picture if you have a cat or a dog or any other pet. Include a picture of them. Anyway, okay, let's get started here. And my cats are running around like crazy, so I'm hoping that they settle down, but if you hear destruction happening around me, you'll know what's happening. In fact, earlier today, I heard all this just unbelievable amount of noise, and I thought, oh my gosh, what has happened? So I went into the bathroom and virtual destruction, and on the floor was a bug. And I don't know for a fact, but I imagine that they were trying to get the bug. So they got it, but they destroyed my bathroom. It's okay. I'll get over it. Don't worry about me. Just kidding. All right. I wanted to show you this because it is the strangest thing I've ever seen. Now, this is Mad Max, and she has obviously had a facelift. Obviously. There's no question about it because I don't know. I just noticed things like that. I'm very observant about things like that. But anyway, last time we saw her, she was very wrinkled. She had, you know, the deep frown lines and whatever. And she's been missing in action for quite a long time. We haven't seen her at all, you know, on video or whatever. So now she's coming. Now she has come back and she is looking much tighter. Hey, I could use one too. And but I want to play this for you because it is the strangest thing I've ever seen. Now just pay attention to her. The whole time she's looking up. What's that about?
I'm just saying that in the matter of Jeffrey Epstein you're referring to, I don't know if it's been established that he was the president's best friend or that he knew specifically
he was one of his friends, and we let him off the hook on that. We're talking about Clinton and Prince Edward and everybody else. All of them need to be called to
Prince Edward. Prince Edward. I think she meant Andrew. Yeah, I'm thinking she did.
Yes, all of them need to be called to respond to this, and including the President of the United States. Yes, that was his friend. Let him deny it. That was his friend.
How's she looking at?
I'm just saying that in the matter of
Yeah, this is it. Just now, I don't. This is Carly Bonet, and I don't know if that is her laugh, but it's hysterical. That laugh is hysterical because really, what is she looking at? And she's obviously had a facelift, and you know what? That's fine. That's fine. She does look better, and she looks great. But what is this? I think I'm going to start doing all my videos like this. And I'll just talk like this, and then I'll look down at the computer, and instead of looking at you guys, I'll just go. Just saying. I mean, doesn't everybody want to be like Aunt Maxine? No. It's thundering out. I just heard thunder, and it rarely storms here, so I think that's a little bit odd. Not really odd, but I know you guys that live in places down south where it thunders all the time, you think it's thunder. But no, up here we haven't had a thunderstorm, gosh, all summer. Anyway, let's go back now, and I need to stop chatting and get to the news. All right. Now, this is interesting. Found this on Twitter. And in case you don't know, this is our wild and woolly corn niblet lover PM. And here he is with a young boy. He doesn't have a shirt on. I don't know if the boy does or not. And no, the boy does, but he doesn't have a shirt on. And then here he is with corn niblet lover, Peter Daglish, and Justin, he has the boy lover symbol on his foundation, as many of them do, because he has to put that there so nobody will mistake him for a normal person. Yeah. So, and then this is his friend here, Peter Daglish, and this little boy does not look very happy. And this is from an anon. He said, if only you knew how bad things really are. Now, I do know how bad things really are, and I'm not under any illusions about our prime minister. It's getting more and more obvious that he does not know what he's doing. He's involved in all sorts of scandals, and he needs to go. He's dangerous. He has done more damage to this country in a short amount of time. I mean, he's like a one-man wrecking crew. Anyway, but he does it all with a smile, though. And those boyish good looks. Not really. Okay. He was better looking before I knew who he was. I mean, I knew who he was, but before we really got to know who he was. Okay, now is this going to let me go? Yes, it is. Yes. Now, listen to this. Okay, now, you know that the U.S. media is bought and paid for. You know that, right? But we up here in the North, everybody denies it. And when I tell people, well, you know, the media is bought and paid for, they look at me like I've got two heads. And it's like, I think you need to be committed. I don't think you're well. Well, here it's coming from Trudeau himself. So maybe people will believe me now. I've been trying to tell everyone. Nobody will listen up here. Now, you guys, you listen. But up here, no. Now, not that everybody up here is, because obviously I've got listeners from up here, and I don't think they'd be listening to me if they were, liberal. But anyway, this from the National Citizens Coalition. Are we sure he's joking? Watch as Trudeau jokes about the $600 million media bailout that used your money. Canadian taxpayers and those of us who believe in a free press aren't laughing, Justin. Yeah, Trudeau brags about bribing the media with $600 million taxpayer dollars. Now, let's listen to what he has to say here. Now, I turned this down earlier, and let me turn it up. Okay.
Now, you sometimes hear about liberal bias in the media these days, how they're constantly letting our government off the hook for no good reason. Frankly, I think that's insulting. It's clear that they let us off the hook for a very good reason, because we paid them $600 million.
Yep, you heard it from him. He's because it's true. You know, it's the same thing with the press up here that you're going through with the press there. Because if you're conservative, you're not going to get any FaceTime, airtime. Your views are not welcome. But if you're liberal, then, you know, you get a free pass. And he says, well, you know, it's clear people say that we let them off for no good reason, or that they let us off the hook for no good reason. And he said, well, I think they have a very good reason, because we paid them $600 million. Can you believe that? He's rubbing it in our faces. Unbelievable. All right. Well, I know I do have some Canadian listeners, and so I do include a few things from Canada, even though my heart and my focus is on the U.S. That is where I feel my heart is. I do love my country here in Canada as well. It is where I was born, and, you know, I love it, but I'm not happy with the way things are going here at all. All right. Now, Jacqueline, I just checked my email. And I got this from Jacqueline Myers, and she must have sent it in between the first video and the second, or I just didn't see it until now. But this is interesting because she said that yesterday, when she brought up Google, this is what she found, and it had SEAL Team 7 rescue boat just off the north side of Little St. James Island. Now, okay, well, what's a SEAL Team 7 rescue boat doing there? I don't know. But today, when she brought it up, it's gone. Interesting. And I bet you she's one of the only people that caught this. If, you know, I don't know if anybody else caught it, but I don't know who would have been looking at this like this. She obviously went out there for some reason to look. And this is what she saw. She saw this SEAL Team 7 rescue boat. She brought it up again and it was gone. So there you go. What does that mean? Obviously something. What were they doing there? Who would they be rescuing there? Don't know, but they did fly a drone over... They flew a drone over, you know, Rusty Shackelford. He does the high definition footage of the island, and he keeps, you know, giving us more and more and more information and more pictures of the island. Well, he showed us a video, and I'm not going to play it because it's long, but he showed us a video of the island after Hurricane Dorian. Didn't look like it was touched. The island looked just the same as it's always looked. There might have been tiny bit of damage, but nothing, you know, major. So I find that interesting. And let's come down here. Now, I love this story. And, okay, this woman, she brought in, well, okay, let me just read it. Hurricane Dorian, Bahamas resident, brings 97 dogs inside single home to protect them from storm. Now, I mentioned that in the last video. Well, here is the picture of some of the dogs. And it says, Hurricane Dorian, Bahamas resident, brings 97 dogs inside single home. A Bahamas resident who runs a refuge for stray dogs said she has brought 97 of the pups inside her home to protect them. And then here I found this as well. Donors raise over $65,000 for woman in the Bahamas who sheltered 97 stray dogs during Hurricane Dorian. Now, I think that is very kind, because probably the dog's shelter, you know, she probably had an outside enclosure for them and so forth, but it's probably damaged beyond repair. So she, you know, and how long can a woman live in a house with 97 stray dogs? Because she had said that, you know, she didn't care that they were pooping and peeing on her floors. You know, she just wanted them to be safe. I think that is wonderful, absolutely wonderful story. Now, some of this I am going to skip over for now, but I am going to get to some of these more pertinent things. My gosh, it's thundering out there. I love storms. I lived for storms when I was in the South. I really did. People called me the weather lady. Okay, now this will enrage you. Free flights for Congo African migrants arrive at their destination safely. So this is, it's a, I don't know, it's a some sort of a, well, it's refugees on planes is what it is, and it's a nonprofit organization that helps to raise money to move African migrants to their destinations. And they're paying for their flights. So remember, we were wondering, because I know here, I am running into, and this is a small agricultural area that has traditionally been white. Now, if you go an hour east, you've got a large Chinese population because it's a major university. It's actually the university that I went to when I was in Canada. And people send their kids, from China or wherever to attend school here. So there's a large Chinese population there. And if you go to Toronto, of course, it's completely, diverse in all, there's everybody there. But in this area, we just don't see that many immigrants. But now all of a sudden, there's a lot of people from India, and I'm noticing a lot of, now they're welcome as far as I'm concerned, because they come over, they work, they integrate into the society, they learn English, they, they're generally peaceful, loving people, and they're good neighbors. So I don't care about that. And I don't care if, Africans come, I don't care. But what I do care is that they're coming from the Congo, and all of a sudden I'm seeing everywhere. And these are not normal Canadian, blacks. They're just not, because most blacks in America and Canada are a very light color. Like, they're not like midnight black, like in Africa, where there hasn't been intermarrying or whatever. They are like, so you know who they are and where they're from. It's not like, so anyway, I'm seeing it more and more and more here. Now, as far as I'm concerned, if they've been properly vetted and they, have come in legally and so forth, then okay. But it worries me, and it worries me because of what we have going on in the Congo right now. And so, and places like this are making it easier for them, much easier for them. So I just thought that was interesting. Very interesting. And this is, of course, on the website EbolaOutbreakMap.com. So that is how they are getting here. And I think also probably people like Soros and people like that are funding as well. But the problem is, too, that when we are bringing in cultures that have traditionally never been here, it opens us up to diseases that we've never seen here. That's another thing. The same thing as if I was to go to somewhere over there, I would probably be carrying things that they're not used to, their system is not used to handling. So I don't know. But anyway, let's go on here. I can't remember what this is, but we'll take a look. Oh, yes. Oh, and then we have Pocahontas. Yes, she has a Labor Day message for us. I know it's the day after, but yeah, she has a Labor Day message for us, and it sounds kind of like a message that we've heard before from Obama. You didn't build that by yourself? Yeah. Well, let's listen to what she has to say. It's 1 minute and 20 seconds. Can we stand her for that long, people? I don't know, but we'll try.
Imposing a well tax because I'm cranky. No, I'm not. Some of these guys say, I worked hard. I had a great idea. I worked late. Oh yeah, like anybody else. But I worked late or inherited well. And so this is mine. And the answer is, yeah, you did. Good for you. You did have a great idea and you did work hard. No one's angry about that, but here's the deal. You built a great fortune here in America. I guarantee you built it at least in part using workers all of us help pay to educate. Yeah. You built it at least in part getting your goods to market on roads and bridges all of us help pay to build. Yep. You built it, at least in part, protected by police and firefighters. All of us help pay their salaries. And we're glad to do it. These are the investments we make as Americans.
Oh my gosh. You know, her arguments really are not that sound. Like, what she's saying is, okay, because you've built this company and you've built it up and you've made these millions of dollars, your workers were educated by, you know, our public school systems, and you travel over the roads that we've all paid for. And well, yeah, because we all pay our part, and those workers might not have that job if it wasn't for that person building that. So why should they pay a wealth tax? It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Now, I think that they should close the loopholes for some of the wealthy, or some of the loopholes for the wealthy. I do think that, but why should you be punished because you're wealthy? Because you've worked hard and you've earned that money and you've built something that employs other people and helps the country as a whole. What kind of drugs is she smoking, man? She needs to put down the crack pipe, really. Like, you know, I don't know. Maybe we could all send her smoke signals. Okay, now let's look at this. Yes, it wouldn't be a video if we didn't talk about drag queens. LGBT activist official, drag queen story hour protesters hold white supremacist beliefs. Oh, so now if you don't want drag queens, who many have, they don't vet them to see if they have a criminal record before they let them talk to your children. So now if you're opposed to drag queens getting that personal with your children, oh, you're a white supremacist. What does one have to do with another? Seriously. What does being... You know, I don't know. I mean, these two ladies look white. It doesn't make sense. Their whole narrative doesn't make sense. And I don't know, after a while, you begin thinking, is it me? Is it me? But dang it, I know it's not me. It's them. It's unbelievable. A battle over a drag queen story hour event in Chula Vista, California has intensified as an LGBT activist member of the city council accused pro-family protesters of the event of holding white supremacist beliefs. A CBS 8 reported Steve Padilla, an openly gay LGBT activist, Chula Vista council member, posted to Facebook that drag queen story hour protesters such as pro-family group Mass Resistance hold white supremacist beliefs. Statement, yeah. The city of Chula Vista's greatest strength is our diversity and sense of community. Throughout our history, residents of many backgrounds, ideas, and perspectives have lived, worked, and played side by side and supported one another. Today, however, we are challenged to reaffirm these values. No, thank you. No, I don't think so. Padilla voiced his support for the events, one of which has been scheduled by Chula Vista Public Library later in the month, with a statement on his Facebook page. I am disappointed that some voices, both from inside and outside our community, have chosen to use this upcoming drag queen story time as an opportunity to perpetuate long discredited false and discriminatory narratives targeting the LGBTQ community in the name of protecting children. This is wrong and must be called out for what it is, the spreading of ignorance, fear, and hate. Much of this fear-mongering is being organized by the local chapter of a nationally known hate group, which promotes not just anti-LGBTQ beliefs, but also anti-immigrant and white supremacist beliefs. These ideas and tactics do not reflect the community I love and serve. Aw, that's too bad. Pro-family protesters rallied Thursday in front of the main branch of the public library in Chula Vista to condemn the Drag Queen Story Hour scheduled on September 10th. The library advertised the event as one that would encourage reading, learning, and inclusivity among young children and celebrate our wonderfully diverse community with stories, crafts, and dancing. Let's just make it all normal, kids. Yeah. Drag Queen Story Hour is not innocent fun to celebrate play while teaching diversity and tolerance, said Arthur Shaper of pro-family group Mass Resistance, reported CBS 8. If adult entertainers engage in those behaviors, they can do so freely in their nightclubs and cabarets, but not around children. NBC 7 reported many parents have been alerting others online, urging them to call upon the library to put an end to the event. Amado Huzar, a father of 4 and pastor in Chula Vista, said he is concerned about how the drag queen reading event influences children, especially regarding the sexual innuendo. NBC 7 interviewed drag queen performer Strawberry Corn Cakes. Oh, I'm feeling a collective eye roll. Everyone? Okay, I feel better. Said he is concerned about how the drag queen, Strawberry Corn Cakes, why do I keep doing that? About whether the reading event is about sexuality. Not at all, the drag queen replied, especially not with kids. Come on now. It's unfortunate that people aren't agreeing with it when it's all about fun, Strawberry Corn Cake said. Yeah, we're men and we're just going to dress up like, well, not even like women, because women don't dress like that. Never. So, we're just going to do that and just pretend like it's all normal. It's unfortunate that people aren't agreeing with it when it's all about fun. Yeah, all about fun. However, last fall, one drag queen admitted the story hours for young children are not just about fun. Dylan Pontiff, a gay man who uses the name Santana Pillar Andrews, when dressed in drag, helped organize a story hour for Louisiana preschoolers. He said the event's purpose is the grooming of the next generation. Well, you know what? I can respect him for at least being honest. I'm here to let you know that this event is something that is going to be very beautiful for the children, and the people that supported are going to realize that this is going to be the grooming of the next generation, Pontiff told the Lafayette City Parish Council. We are trying to groom the next generation to not see the way that they just did. LGBTQ activists countered the protesters at the rally with several officers from the Chula Vista Police Department on hand to keep the crowd in check. The Drag Queen Story Hour helps teach them about the acceptance of all, said Dennis Nicely of LGBT activist group PFLAG. Now, I don't know what that cat is doing, but excuse me while I stage an intervention. Hey. Oh, Xander is a mess because I could spray that water at him. He just sits there and it lets him hit it. He lets it hit him in the face. He doesn't care. Anyway. Okay, well, that's enough about that. Really, it's more than enough. So let's come back here and let's look at this. Can't remember what this is, but let's hope it's something good. Oh yes, today the people in Hamilton heckled Justin Trudeau out of the Labor Day parade. Yes, they did. And I'm not going to play that. I just wanted you to know it. That was yesterday. And yeah, that was Hamilton. That's not that far. It's on the other side of Toronto. And yeah, they heckled him right out of the parade. I love it. Oh. Yep, people have had enough. Now. Oh yes, let me hit on this. Need to get to this. Come on, I'm telling you. When it gets late, my brain just falls right out of my head. Ilhan Omar feels the heat. Of all the scandals in which Ilhan Omar is enmeshed, one might think the Daily Mail's revelation this past July of her affair with political consultant Tim Mynett would be at least one of them, would be the least of them, sorry. The news last week of Beth Mynett's divorce filing, however, has begun to disillusion a Somali community that has taken Omar at face value. Not cool. Not cool at all. And it has thrown Omar off her game. Oh my gosh. Would you leave that plant alone? He just lifted the plant right out of the pot and ran off with it. Oh, Lord, have mercy on my soul. Okay. Omar's denial of the affair is a lie that is both obvious and bald-faced. She is therefore run from the tabloid newspapers and the local media as they have sought to report on the scandal. See, for example, Emily Bowden's New York Post article and accompanying video. Ilhan Omar dodges questions from the Post about alleged affair. Well, we know that. For Omar, offense has always proved the best defense. In this scandal, she has run out of plays. The scandal has pushed the incredible panoply of scandals we have covered in depth on Powerline into the background. The identity fraud, the marriage fraud, the immigration fraud, the tax fraud. In the past 3 weeks, I have circled back to interview sources whom I have found to be highly reliable in the Omar saga. They open a window on the scandals from the perspective of Ahmed Hershey, her longtime partner and the father of her 3 children. According to Sourcey, Hershey is telling friends that he will not go to jail for Omar. Good for him. That while Omar did indeed marry her brother, Ahmed Almi, for fraudulent purposes, Hershey did not know at the time that she had married Almi. That Omar is threatening Hershey, he would be in trouble along with her if the truth were to come out. That Omar has asked him to state publicly that all is well with their marriage, even though it is completely done and finished. And, oh, now she's jumping at the window because there's little bugs out there. Okay, it's that okay, I lost my place here. That in fact they are living apart and have been divorced under Islamic law, although they remain legally married. Having humiliated Ahmed Hershey by her affair with Tim Mynett, Omar now wants Hershey to perform public relations services for her to suppress the scandal. That is cold. Hershey has maintained his silence through all the scandals so far. One may infer that there is a good reason why Hershey has never spoken up on Omar's behalf in any of these scandals. Hershey's knowledge of Omar's conduct is knowledge of her wrongdoing. Rather than respond in substance to questions based on the known facts and evidence, Omar has wildly accused us and others of bigotry. Among the others, she now accused of bigotry is Star Tribune, which has treated Omar almost entirely as a hometown hero. This is how Omar rolled in the Star Tribune page 1 story of June 23rd on her state campaign finance board findings that gave new life to the scandals we have pursued. Omar's reticence is consistent with near total silence she has maintained for 3 years amid questions raised through public records picked over by conservative opinion journalists intent on proving that she committed immigration fraud. Those attacks, she once tweeted, are the provenance of fake journalists on bigoted blogs. Omar the spokesman, Jeremy Slevin, issued a statement Friday, June 21st, asserting that the questions about her personal life are legitimate. Since before she was elected to office, Ilhan has been the subject of conspiracy theories and false accusations about her personal life, emboldened by a president who openly treats immigrants, refugees, and Muslims as invaders. These attacks often stem from the presumption that Ilhan, like others who share those identities, is somehow illegitimate or not fully American. Ilhan has shared more than most public officials ever do about the details of her personal life, even when it is personally painful, he continued, whether by colluding with right-wing outlets to go after Muslim elected officials or hounding family members. Legitimate media outlets have a responsibility not to fan the flames of hate. Continuing to do so is only demeaning to Ilhan, but is not only demeaning to Ilhan, but to her entire family. When it comes to the Star Tribune, Omar is an ingrate as well as a liar. Beyond her accusations of bigotry, her false denials, and her non-responsive responses, Omar's lies have been the order of the day for 3 years running. Her act is getting old and wearing thin. One wonders how long she can keep the lid on. Well, hopefully not long, because not even her husband, who they are divorced under Islamic law, when he found out that she was having an affair, not even he supports her. So, yeah. And he said, I'm not going to jail for you. And nor should he. So, there you go. And let's come back here. Yes. I wanted to get to this. This is important. I found this. This is from the Resistance Chicks. And they put it to my attention. Heads up, New York and Nevada. They are hiring crisis actors for drills next weekend. Yeah. September 6th and 7th, military seeks role players to portray injured citizens in New York. And heads up, Nevada, because this one says get paid up to $225 to support the Nevada National Guard as role player on September 8th and 9th near Las Vegas. It's very hard to read because it's blurry. But yeah, so if you're in Nevada or New York, heads up. They're calling for role players, so something's up. Always. All right. Now, here is another thing that has to be gotten to tonight. Because I know. Now, I'm going to... Okay. Retired New York Police Department sergeant found dead by apparent suicide on Staten Island. Official. Again with a suicide from the New York Police Department. Why is this happening? 48-year-old retired New York Police Department sergeant was found dead of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound on Staten Island Monday night. Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams said in a statement Tuesday, the New York Police Department has not identified the man who was found dead in the driver's seat of a vehicle in a transit parking lot on Arthur Hill Road, nor has the department confirmed the apparent manner of death. Police radio has been announcing the mental health hotline for officer throughout the night, and Adams released a somber statement on the matter on Monday. Last night, we learned of another... Last night, we learned of another officer who has taken his own life, the 10th this year. That's troubling. What did these guys know? Our hearts go out to the sergeant's loved ones and the entire New York Police Department family as they cope with yet another loss to suicide, Adams said. That's too many to be a coincidence. He added that his office released a public service announcement to all law enforcement officers last week, reminding them there is no shame in seeking help. I know from my 22 years wearing a blue uniform that you can internalize the trauma you witness on a daily basis, Adams said. I know how difficult it can be to admit you are struggling. The sergeant's death follows multiple suicides by New York City police officers this year, many of them in the last several months. The escalating crisis has prompted law enforcement at all levels to speak out on the need for officers to look out for their mental health and that of their colleagues. It won't do any good, because I don't believe that that's the issue. I don't believe that these guys are committing suicide. Like, apparently this guy shot himself in the chest. If you're trying to commit suicide, do you shoot yourself in the chest? No, normally you shoot yourself in the head, but you know, maybe that's just me. Well, not that I would shoot myself ever or commit suicide. So if someone says I did, it's a lie. The sergeant's, just last month, Robert Echeverria, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, 56, became the 9th New York Police Department officer to take his own life in 2019. His death came a day after another officer, Johnny Rios, 35, killed himself. New York City police officials say the department averages 4 or 5 officer suicides a year. In 2019, that number has already doubled. I wonder if any of them knew Hillary Clinton. I'm not trying to make light of this at all. I'm really not, because it's horrific. And I do realize that working for the police is extremely stressful, extremely. And especially somewhere like New York, oh my gosh, I can only imagine what these officers see in the course of a year, let alone a lifetime or a career. So my heart does go out to them and their families. I don't, I do hope that they get to the bottom of it, though, because I just don't believe that they were all suicide, if any. I don't know. Maybe some were. Okay, now let's go back here and see what else we have. I don't want to belabor it too much more because it's after midnight. Gosh darn it. And I'm not sure exactly what time my brain's going to fall out of my head. It may have already fallen out, but I just, I don't want to risk it. Okay, this from Charlie Kirk. Facts. The Obamas are worth over $135 million. Yes, you heard me, $135 million. This year, they will cost taxpayers $1,176,000. He could give 2 speeches on Wall Street at his rate of $1.2 million for each speech, and take the cost off the taxpayer for a whole year. Of course, when he's saying they cost the taxpayer, because they have to continue giving him Secret Service detail. And he could give 2 speeches on Wall Street and take the burden off the taxpayers for an entire year. But he won't. He'd rather the taxpayers subsidize his lifestyle. Shameful. Absolutely shameful. And when I just saw that about million, I got thinking that I read today that Walt Disney Disney, the company, is donating $1 million to the Bahamas, and everybody's going, oh, yay, Disney. Oh, they're so nice. Oh, that's so wonderful. Thank you, Disney. Never mind the fact that they left employees on their island during Dorian. But that is not my point. My point is $1 million in this day and age is nothing. I mean, Obama could give a million and not even feel it. Disney, this is a multi-billion-dollar company. Oh, we gave $1 million. Whoa, we'll write it off too. Yeah, I'm not impressed. I'm not. And how far is $1 million? You think of it. Things are so expensive. How far is $1 million going to go? How many homes could that build? Not very many. And if it even gets to the people, which it probably won't. So there. All right. Now, you know what? I think I'm going to leave it there because my brain is starting to feel like it's slipping a little bit. I feel it. So, you know, we still have a lot of stuff though. Man, we have a lot of stuff. Okay. But, I am going to leave it there for now because, well, you know, because. So I'll be back tomorrow. That's a warning. And, in the meantime, stay safe, stay well, stay blessed, and keep seeking truth. I appreciate you guys more than you could ever know, because I just love reading your comments and laughing with you all, and I feel like I know so many of you. I don't, of course, but I feel like I do. So anyway, you guys have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow, although tomorrow's already here. So I'll see you later today. Good night.